Hello, this is Sidrat Gaming. I am Sidrat. I am playing a selection of puzzles from the New York Times puzzle offerings on the 23rd of July 2026. Strap in. Of course, it's going to be fun. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to not miss out on future videos. And let's start with Wordle. Here we go. This is going to be adding to my 63-day streak, hopefully. So as usual, I will click on there, scroll on down and start with some hints, because hints are good, and why not? Consonant T, vowel of O. Let's try storm, because it's, again, boiling hot, so that gives me T-O-R in the wrong place. So if I bring up that and put that there, SM here, let's have a look. We've got 42 words left. Let me click on that box as well. What this will do, hopefully, what this will do is make it in the right, give me the correct items. It's not going to have words with the second character being T, because we know that's in the wrong place, and so on for O and R. That brings the list even smaller, down to 23 words, which is here. Let me try. Right, so I'm going to try It's a Risky Worth, if I can actually type, and that's not right either. So O, R and T are not in there either. What was the other one? W and H. W and H. Right, and now there's 6 words left. It's going to be ratio, isn't it? It's going to be ratio. No, it's not. Okay, fine. But that gives me an I in the 4th place, and it doesn't begin with R. So we can put the I there. R-A-T-O. Let's get rid of that one. Did I do that right? There's no A. That makes more sense. So there's no A. That's better. Orbit. 1 left. Orbit. I really thought it was going to be ratio. Okay. Thank you for that. And we'll move on. I know yesterday I went through the menus, but I'm going to click on the one that they recommend. So let's go to connections. And connections for the 23rd of July. And because life is short, this is angles in baseball and pitching. Right. Baseball, febrile, apron, and deplane. So using connections copilot, I will put these in the right place. Where's febrile, apron goes there for blue, and deplane is purple, and febrile is on the 2nd row here. Okay, so now I can bring this into shot, like so. Right, so deplane could be, actually apron is on a runway. We've got jungle, intense orange, feline, marble. Marble, that's a ball, isn't it? Terminal. That's interesting. You've got marble, you've got globe. You've got baseball, which is also a globe, and you've got orange. which would be ironic, and that would be fun. But you've also got feline, which is cat-like. Let me just have a quick look to see what febrile actually means. Febrile is a medical and literary adjective that means related to fever or feverish. Fever, F-E. Right, okay. Abnormally high body temperature related to the word febris, Latin, meaning fever. Smoking bodies, febrile does not have a fever. But I think it's not actually the definition. I think it's more of the sound. And I could be wrong. Febrile, frenetic, feline, F-E, excited. Anything there? Intense. Intense, excited, and frenetic. You're not going to be that if you've got a fever, surely. What about slang? Slang, right. Febrile, right, okay. In slang, according to Google AI overview, that's a state of intense, hyperactive, or anxious excitement. So we've got excited, frenetic, and intense. Jangle. Jangle. Apron, runway, terminal, hangar. Apron. Deplane. If you've already solved it, congratulations. I'm fairly certain of the orange. Green looks good to me currently. But then there's this apron and deplane, which are really closely related, but not really. Right, deplane means to off-board, surely. Deplane. Get off, disembark. After it's landed, of course, after it's landed. Right. Is there any slang? Alight. Alight is a good word. We don't use that often, or I certainly don't hear it. Because that doesn't really, unless orange isn't related to globes, but that fits. The slang for febrile we've already covered. Apron. Deplane. Well, when you deplane, you're in a hangar, or you can end up, plane will end up in a hangar. Apron. Runway. No, okay. I am second guessing myself. Let's put those in. And come back over here. And see if purple is correct. You get a bonus badge if you do it in reverse order. So deplane, a point, jangle, and feline. Ending in geometry terms. Point, plane, line, angle. This is what we have to contend with when it comes to connections. Thank you very much, New York Times. So blue is the hangar, terminal, apron and runway. at febrile, excited, frenetic, intense. And this is another absolutely wonderfully easy-ish solve. So we've got perfect puzzle, reverse rainbow, for doing it in reverse order. And we've increased the streak to 3 days, which is absolutely marvelous. Let me have a look here. So what I also like to do is go onto the comment section, which is further down the page where you get the hints. Click on the comments, put that in, have a nice and simple resolve, although I missed the category aspect of purple. Right, and let's have a look to see. Let's have a look to see how well the other players have done by clicking on the connections bot. Right. So yeah, 85% success rate, solve rate. So that's 1 in 76 out of 1 million people. 1 million games played anyway. And yeah, let's have a look. So these are the categories, the percentage of players who found each category first. So most people started with blue, and the least amounts is purple. Yeah, blue is kind of a good one. Maybe they thought it was purple if they're not using hints. That's always a possibility. Not everyone uses hints. You're playing by yourself, so whatever you choose, use hints or not. Personally, life is too short. I can't do it without hints. It would be a really, really dull video if I did try to play without hints, because I wouldn't know where to start. Today's top mistakes: not knowing where to start. 6% had jangle, febrile marble and apron. Another 6% jangle, orange, feline, appointment, and so on and so on. That's 9%, 14% and 54%. So the majority of people with mistakes, at least one mistake, made that, which is not a bad guess. Not at all. Terminal, runway, hangar, deplane. Deplane, yeah. But 5% of players on the first guess started with purple, 90% started with blue. For whatever reason, they may have thought it was purple, like I said. And then 38% went on to do blue, in my case. 2% got it wrong on the second, and so on. There we go. That's nice. So this leads me into strands, which is usually fun, usually enjoyable. Let's have a look here. This is 12-day streak. I thought it was longer. Anyway, I'm not complaining. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I forgot to complete it. Held to the Chief Petty Officer, again for July 23rd, 2026. And how that would be, I'm looking for possibilities. Held to the Chief Petty Officer. Do you salute Chief Petty Officer? I don't know. Right, so click on the light bulb. I don't think you get so many ribbons for being a Chief Petty Officer, do you? I have no idea. Never in the military. Not allowed. Let's start with the first one. So that's first column, fourth in diagonal. Again, at the bottom of that page is comments for feedback. Connections, comments, really nice place to visit and read, because people know each other, especially with the comments and the replies and the responses. So do check that out if you want to join in. So this is the first one. It's telling me it's an R, and then the next one will be E. Recruits. Right, okay. That's what we're dealing with when the hint doesn't actually mean what you would think it means. Anyway, there's also a word that spans the grid. So it could be from top to bottom, or left to right, or right to left, and bottom to top. Doesn't have to end on these letters either. It can snake backwards, so it could do this. It could do this. That would be fine as well. That's a spanogram. But we've got five to go in the entire grid. These are going to be long ones. Right, let me get a second hint. That's 3, so we start here. N sign. Okay, and then love. No. Third and final hints is taking me to the top row into L. And it's going down, so that's the next one there. I thought it could be lieutenants, but it doesn't fit. And I think there's I don't want to get too far. Navy. No. Navy officer, Navy. Naval. No, what's dry? Dry dock. Recruits. Right, so this is my giddy aunt. What is going on? Lineman 9. Lineman, no. What? I think now I know why my streak is only 12 days. I'm very surprised. Because if that is naval, or navy, naval, Come on. Right, so this is the spanogram. The spanogram has to start on this edge or end on this edge. Drill L. Right, so Chief Petty Officer. Is it purely naval? Yes, it is. It is a naval rank, so. Come on. What's going on with my mouse today? Come on. Get rid of that one. INE. That is part of there. If you know the answer, stick it in the comments. That would be really, really useful. Yard. No. LA, it has, well, unless it goes backwards, right to left, then that's LA. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about naval terms. What's the, right, so we've got recruits, we've got ensign. Well, Drell Award. Medal. Promotion. I normally get these so much quicker. Comms. Wow, okay. Again, not afraid of using hints. Press the button. Oh, wow, this is, wow, that isn't a spanogram. Okay, so now I can see that's Admiral. And if you were screaming that out to me, well done. Scream a bit louder though, so I can hear you. So the spanogram does go top and bottom. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's embarrassing. It's only easy when you know what the answer is, though. So let's move on. We've got 2 left to go. So I don't. Right, I'm going to find out how to spell lieutenant because I'm sure it was with an. I'm sure it was with an U, L-I-E-U, L-I-E-U. Right, L-I-E-U, L-I-E-U-T. E-N-T? No, because those would be blocked. L-I-E-U. There's no T down there. Let's see. See? So it can be lieutenants. Right. Commander? Commander. Yay. Right, it was lieutenant. I just couldn't spell it even when it was in front of me. That took a while. but I got the job done with only 1 hint. That was actually quite nice though. Okay, next is the mini crossword puzzle. And yes, I do have Google open, because what's the point of having stuff that you can use if you don't use them, especially auto check. So, instruments in the bluegrass classic foggy mountain breakdown. Banjo. That was a guess. I'm not that good. Criticize harshly. No. We'll come back to that one. What's this one here? 1 of 8 on a chessboard, or 5 in a mini crossword. 1 of 8 on a chessboard. 1 of 8. Or 5 in a mini crossword. Cell? Square? Yeah. Row. Unbelievable. Right. Okay. That is a really nice clue, that was. I like that clue. Where wedding rings are exchanged. Where wedding rings are exchanged. I've never had to exchange in a pawn shop, but no. Never mind. Cool beans. Neato. Preppy clothing brand. No idea. I'm not preppy. Gave the green lights. Beginning with an O. Right. Smart. I was going to say smart ass for a wise guy, but we do know it begins with an A. Smart. Alright, 7 across. Compete in a contest that's lost by blinking stare. And 1 down is bash. Of course you got that on the first go. Strongly disliked. Hated. So it gave the green lights. No. Gave the green lights. Right, okay. I know in TV terms, it means to get the program started. You green lights program or project. Allow it to begin. Ordered. Right, okay. Preppy clothing brand. Again, what's the clothing brand? No. Weddings. At the altar, not the pawn shop. That comes later. Smarts Alex. So what was 5 down then? Right, okay. Gave the green lights. Okayed. Well, in English, that would be O-K-A-Y. To okay. Or okay. O-K-E-D. Is that acceptable? It's a stretch. For a crossword puzzle, that's a stretch. But anyway, that's done in 3 minutes. Anything under 5 minutes, I class that as a win. When it comes to the MIDI, if it's 10 minutes or under, I'm always exceptionally happy for the rest of the day. Talking of the MIDI, 23rd of July, Master of Suspense. Could be directors. Lust and Envy for 2. Right, I forgot. Turn that on. Otherwise, we will be here all day. 1 down, snap, crackle, and pop. Had some of those for breakfast. That's Neil Gallagher. Neil. Neil? No. Oh, Noel Gallagher. Right. Wow. Is it early? Yeah. Just a stone's throw away. State that's got 99 counties and Mitchell is 1 state. I'm going to say Iowa when I can type. That's the only state I could think of, begin with the O and the W already there. Less than envy for 2. I don't know. Dire as in injuries. We'll move on. Remove the skin of. As well, that's peeled. But it can't be peeled. What's this one? Miniature. Small. Tiny. Only 3 letters though. Miniature. Weird. Some fishing gear. You got reel. Rod. Baits. Let's try it. It's not baits. Waders. Boots. Boats. No. Tackle. No. Right. Child with junior after his name. Maybe. Wow. Disney villain who says, I was first in line until the little hairball was born. I was first in line until the little hairball. Oh. So, a cousin then. Yeah. Or an uncle. Okay. Coloured glasses. Rose. I thought it was rose tinted glasses, not coloured. Okay, what do I know? Buy in at the start of a poker hand. And see. There we go. So miniature. Wee. Okay. This can be good. Oh no. If this was English version, then after this clue would be 2-2 because it's 2 separate words. Just a bugbear of mine. You may hear about it a lot. Child with junior after his name may be. No, still no. Some fishing gear. Nets. Child with junior after his name. Son. Unbelievable. And that is Scar. Lion King. Cool. So it was an uncle. Berated. Chewed out. Okay. That would have been 6-3. Good looking fella. Nope, doesn't fit. Defeated in a boxing match for shorts. KO'd. Light brown hue with a French name. Light brown hue. One named Nigerian singer. Ah, cool. Sade. And it's a great track. If you haven't listened to the song, because you weren't born yet, check out Sade's Smooth Operator. You can find it on YouTube. It stands the test of time. Absolutely phenomenal song. Right, sprinkle as of seasoning. Sprinkle as of seasoning. Salt, pepper, condiments. Sprinkle. Shake. You don't pour, you drizzle. No, right. What's a picture may be displayed in frame? Do I know? Remove the skin of. Nope. Tax filing experts CPA, that's the American version, of course. African country northeast of Cameroon. Northeast of Cameroon. Begin with C. I've got Google for that one. I just type in Cameroon, bring up the map. It's Chad. My African geography, not that good. Go figure. Ham operator. That's a red. No. Ham operator. Could that be like a radio? It's not a DJ. DJ's was 23 down. CBS show that's helped popularize forensic science. CSI. All of them. Some spin-offs better than others. The original, not too bad. Spiked clubs used in medieval times. Maces. I do play computer games, and I've used a few of those in my gaming journey. Good looking fella is a stud, or a horse. Light brown hue with a French name. Light brown hue. What was that one? Sprinkle as of seasoning. Right, and what are these letters in circles for? Master of Suspense. NNWNW. North by Northwest. NNWN and W. I don't know. That would be Hitchcock, North by Northwest. Doesn't help me with one across though. Dire. Dire as injuries. Fatal. What's the first part then? I don't know. Let's move away from that. Heap. Pile. So that's Water, Shame and Lass. And yeah. Hitchcock goes there. Light brown hue. Currency in Cologne, but not in Copenhagen. That's the euro. Light brown hue with a French name. Ecru. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Right, sprinkle. Dash. That's good. Right, okay. And remove the skin of Eupared. P-A-R-E-D. Dire as injuries. So, EAR fatal. Near fatal, right. So less than interview for 2 since. Right, and that was 38 minutes and counting, so I think we're going to call it a day. I use the puzzles to get the brain in gear over breakfast to, you know, to exercise the little grey cells. And does it work? Not all the time. But if you're getting annoyed, step away, pause it, step away, come back 5 minutes later, and usually the answers just pop into your head. It's very, very bizarre. But thank you. If you've enjoyed the video, like and hit subscribe for notifications, and have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next time. Take care.